All right, I have settled, sir. Thank you.
Okay, are we ready for the video? Okay. All right, I will call to order a transportation committee meeting of November 2nd, 2021. May I have a roll call, please?
Kaplan. Here. Desart.
Here.
Krajewski.
Here.
Ozog.
Here.
Kukowski.
Here.
Zay.
All right, we do have a quorum. I have no chairman's remarks. I am told we do not have any public comment. That takes us to agenda 5. May I have a motion to approve the transportation committee minutes of October 19th, 2021? I have a motion and a second. Any changes, alterations, or corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Next is 6, which is purchase requisitions. May I have a motion to approve DTP 39921, a contract to HBK Engineering LLC to provide professional surveying and underground locating and marketing services. There's a correction to section 21 PULMS-03-MS for a contract not to exceed $400,000 vetted through a qualification-based process. A motion is second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Next, I'd like a motion to approve DTP 421, a contract to Hampton, Lenzini, and Renwick, Inc. for construction engineering services for the central signal system expansion not to exceed $741,407. I have a motion, a second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Next, we're at change orders. I'd like a motion to combine 7A through I, which are all decreasing closeout or exhibit C.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. And I would like to combine 7A, which is change order BLA 14905, change order CDM, Smith Extend, change order Compress Mills, decrease and close, change order Interstate Power Systems, decrease and close, change order K5 Construction, decrease and close, change order Monroe Truck Equipment, decrease and close, change order Ozinga Ready Mix, decrease and close, and change order Triangle Fabrication, decrease and close. All right.
And I,
Oh, I'm sorry, I change order for the contract with MW Star Waste Holdings, Inc. For same terms and conditions. Okay. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
I don't
the
think we
ayes-
had a motion for the approval.
Oh, we did not?
We had to
Sorry.
combine.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just said combine instead of approve.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so motion, member Ozog,
All right,
second,
cool,
member
I'm
Chapman.
sorry.
Okay, all right.
All in favor, aye.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you, Dawn. All right, next we're amending resolutions. I'd like the motion to amend resolution DTR 42821 for R.W. Duckman for the Downers Grove Township 2021 surfing program for the county adjustment.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Next is an amendment to resolution DTR 31421 to R.W. Duckman for the Milton Township 2021 road maintenance program for an accounting adjustment.
So moved. Second.
All right, a motion is second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. And finally, an amendment to resolution DTR 337C 20 order for market construction for Grand Avenue over Addison Creek culvert replacement due to the tail.
I am so sorry.
No problem.
So moved. Second.
Couldn't get a hold of me, second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Next is item 8D. May I have a motion to approve DTR 50721? It's a resolution for additional
Second.
appropriation for the impact fee service area 5 company, which is $555,000. I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Next is item 9, which is an action item, which is a trust for approval of payment for the annual Jubilee contribution for locating services of division of transportation for an estimated cost of $16,386.18. I have a motion, a second. Any questions? All in
Yeah,
favor?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I do have a question about this one. Could somebody just out of curiosity tell me how Julie works? Because I thought Julie was free to the customer, and then I thought like ComEd or NICO or whoever has the lines buried would pay for the service. So why are we? I'm just curious as to why the county has to pay for
Everybody
Julie.
has a certain payment.
Yeah, so it's free to the
Consumers,
customer.
it's free.
So
Customer.
it's free to customer by state statute. We're
Yeah.
required to belong to it because we have underground facilities to locate. So we have traffic signal conduit, storm sewer, public works has water main, sanitary
Easements.
sewer, et cetera. So we by statute are required to belong to them,
So all
So-
counties and municipal governments have to belong to Julie
as well as all the utilities, et cetera. So if you're gonna plant a tree in your front yard, you call Julie.
Yeah, I called Julie before.
Okay, so they call Julie, they say, oh, you're on a county highway, so we get a ticket to DuPage County, and each ticket's about $1 something.
Okay.
And what Julie does, if I recall each year, is they aggregate the prior year's number of calls, divided among all the participants in the system. And essentially, they're a non-for-profit, so
Right.
basically each year we have to dedicate money, so they look at our last year's amount, and they say, okay, last year you had X amount of tickets that we had to process for DuPage County, so your fee is Y. So, but it's free to use, so when you call, you don't get charged, but the county.
So we're a utility.
Thank you. I had no idea that county, that the government had to pay for part of it.
Mhm.
I always thought the utilities had to pay for it all.
Well,
Thank
they're
you.
part of it, and then we're a utility. In the case of
Yeah.
our underground conduits, we don't want people digging a hole and hitting our traffic
Right,
signal,
right.
conduit, and then things happen, so.
Thank you for that explanation.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Being said, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Any report from our state attorney?
This time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, anything other old
Oh,
business?
just a,
I'm sorry.
oh,
Oh.
can I ask a question?
Sure.
Oh, okay. So the east, I can't talk. So the East Branch Trail study,
Mhm.
did we commit $100,000 to that?
So the 2022 budget includes, and I know Member Ozog and I discussed this, the 2022 budget does include a funding to continue engineering predominantly at the north end. So it's the north third mile, basically trying to get past the railroad.
Okay.
I know we chatted in a recent meeting with Glen Ellen that before we do a large study, we got to figure out with the UP, how we're going to cross the
Cross
UP.
the-
So
cross the-
$100,000, we just mentioned that at the meeting, would probably be a good amount of money to begin that engineering. Right now, there's 2 cells that go under the railroad. One is low and full of water because it drains the East Branch. The other one is higher. And so I know in the past we looked at, it's a rather large cell, actually elevating a path in there. And 10 years ago, we did the study, it was feasible. But now that we're actually more aggressively moving forward with something, we have to open that study up again and actually coordinate with the railroad.
Okay, so we have 100,000 set aside for the engineering to figure out how to cross the UP.
Yeah.
Okay,
Phase
great,
one.
thank you.
Yeah, it'd be phase 1, it'd be preliminary, yeah.
Okay,
And you
thank
told me at one time that engineering is usually about 10 to 15% of the project, right?
It depends on the phase of engineering. Typically 25 to 30% of a project for preliminary design and construction. So preliminary engineering oftentimes can be 5 to 8 to 10%, depending on the magnitude, and then design 10 to 12, and then construction upwards of 15. So you add all those up, I think somehow you get to 25 to 30 overall. So,
Anybody, everything else under old business? Anybody?
oh, I do actually.
Okay. I thought
Okay,
you
so
did.
yeah, so real quick, I do want to give you an update. We finally got our first check for the increase in the local gas. So that went into effect July 1. It's collected in July, but it's receipted to the county. Actually, it's a 3-month lag. So our first check, first check was in October, a couple weeks ago. So remember, it went from 4 to 8 cents. So recently we've been collecting about 1.5 million a month. Now it's 3 million a month. So
Wow.
it doubled. Compared to the 3-year average, 2017, 18, and 19, we're still running about 13% below. Now, that was without the double. So now we're above, but if we just track the original 4 cents, we're still well short of pre-COVID conditions, and the same with motor fuel tax. So I want to update you on that. At our last meeting, we approved a resolution setting the dates for the long-range transportation plan public hearing. You have in front of you kind of the notice that's been published by John Loper. I will send this to you in electronic format, so you have the link. And the public hearing will run for, I think that's 7 days, from November 12th to November 19th. Feel free to log in, view it. I think John's trying to keep it under 20 minutes. You can submit questions or just kind of view it. And then after it closes, I think we'll collect comments through the end of November-ish.
Yeah, November 30th will be the closing date for the comments.
And then what we'll do is we'll review those comments and see how they, and address those comments and bring forth, hopefully in December, the one and only meeting for adoption of the long-range transportation plan. But I'll send this to you as an electronic format. That's all I have under old.
Okay, anything under new business?
Yes. So yesterday, was the beginning of what we call snow and ice season, snow season. It goes from 11/1 to the end of March, although the last 2 years it's gone to mid-April. So I just want to give you an update. We've got, our salt dome is full. We've got all of our liquids to combat snow and ice. So that's on the ready. From a staffing perspective, you know, we still are short mechanics and we're still short operators.
And drivers.
Exactly. And we've had nobody submit to be a snowplow, a seasonal snowplow operator. So we're down staff. We're ready. If the snow comes tomorrow, we do have a dedicated staff of not just DOT folks, but we have the support from our Public Works Department, and many of our engineers have gone on to get their CDL and will supplement forces. So, but compared to this time last year, we're short several people going into snow and ice. So I just wanted to give you an update on that.
Nick, Joan, do you have your CDLs?
I hear what, that's what it takes.
So,
I have a chauffeur's license, but it's not.
Same difference.
difference.
I'll sit in the passenger side, you can drive this.
Okay, all right.
So with that, that's all I had for under new.
All right, anybody have anything? Go ahead, Dawn.
Yeah, Chris, so that concerns me, not having, you know, enough staff. So what would that mean? How many staff are we down? Like
So
10%, 50%? I mean,
Well, we're down 5 of 9 mechanics,
5
and
and
they work,
9. Oh my
remember, during
God.
snow and ice, we run a 24/7 shift, so 2 shifts. And then on the operator side, we're down 3 in terms of positions, but in terms of actual people that can plow, we're down 6. Because our laborers last year had CDLs and they were able to get behind a truck. One of our mechanics also moved into a different position so that he used to plow for us. So from a plow driver perspective, we're down 6.
So do we have a plan of hiring? I mean,
So
like,
we're actively recruiting. The positions are posted.
Yeah.
And so we're continuing to have it out there. It's a tough market, I think, for anybody trying to
Oh,
hire
yeah.
right now.
You know, some of the fast food restaurants you've seen are offering bonuses.
Mhm.
Are we looking to do that?
Well, I think that's a
body.
policy decision of the board.
Yeah.
And I know there's been other discussions about
Yes.
things, so.
We talked about it at the care center and everything else, and I think we want to attract people and keep them. We have to be competitive, and that, I think, is one of the ways you be competitive, is to give them a signing bonus and make them commit for a couple of years. I think once they become an employee, they like it here. It's just, we got to get them here to have them like it.
Yeah, we have no problem promoting from within as positions open up, but we are losing, folks to other municipalities. You know, they're offering more, they're poaching one another. You know, it's a small market to not have any interest. We have a posting for several weeks now to have nobody submit.
I just
It's a
jumped on
challenge.
this because I know the people, I've only had a couple complaints, but I know that people complain, if it snows, my road's not plowed yet, it's been an hour, why is my road plowed
That's because
yet?
we're on the state route.
Yeah,
Well, I know
exactly.
that's true, that's
We're
true.
municipality.
Yeah,
That's true. IDOT is not us, so you can tell the county road from the state road. So yes, I think that's who you got to tell them whose road it belongs to,
Right.
and we have no authority.
Yeah, so obviously we continue to look at our operations. We have 10 snow routes. We typically run anywhere from 2 to 4 people on those, side by side. So, obviously the concern is always the level of service and the cycle time to get through before people say, I saw it come by, now it's been 4 hours.
Mhm.
Well, we like to keep it around 2.5 if we could, but with fewer drivers, it's fewer cycle times. So,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
You mentioned poaching. I don't know how many times we have employees who had offers from, Naperville or whatever, and they would love to stay with us, but we can't give them the $18,000 difference in salary. I mean, it's kind of, sad that we've lost, we train them very well, and then we let them, municipalities come in and cherry pick and take them for more money after we've trained them for all these years on all these different facets. So when they go to that municipality, they can hit the ground running. So it's, all right, thank you. Anybody else have anything under new business? If not, without objection, we stand adjourned. Good meeting. Thank you.
Well, we weren't the quickest meeting.